Welcome, Star Wars fans. Here we talk about all things Star Wars with rumors, facts, news, and random shenanigans. Get ready and strap into your Millennium Falcon. This is the Force Choke Podcast.
All right, welcome to episode 66 of the Force Choke Podcast. I'm Tim, and I'm here with Lewis, Micah, and Sarah. And today we're going to talk about the first topic today we got is the Clone Wars. And I want to know has Ahsoka finally met up with Anakin?
Oh, that's right. You hadn't seen it. Yes.
Yeah, I had not. Sorry, I'm sorry. So I had not seen the latest episode, which is episode 9. I haven't seen that yet.
Lewis, Sarah, have y'all?
I've seen it.
Any of it.
That's right.
I saw it this morning.
Has it, so in y'all's opinions, because I know last time we talked, it was kind of not a dud, but it wasn't what y'all had wanted it to be. Has it picked up?
This is the best episode thus far. And I was supremely happy with it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Supreme.
I would go so far as to say possibly one of the best episodes in the series, the entire series, so far.
Cool.
Hey,
that's awesome.
you gotta catch up.
Yeah.
And that's episode 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, to be honest,
old friends, but not forgotten.
It felt like
a fucking Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, it felt very connected to the actual theatrical releases.
Well,
in a way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. Obviously, Tim and Sarah didn't yet.
Yeah, we're gonna ruin it for him.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll watch it after. I'll watch after this.
We kind of have to, I guess. It had a different intro because it said part 1, but this is where like it's bleeding in with Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. And that's why the title, like, it actually kind of almost started out like a Star Wars movie, and the title was red, like Revenge
instead of its traditional yellow. Yeah.
And cool. throughout the episode, you know exactly where it's linking in, it's connecting it to.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. They could have started this season there.
And maybe it was on purpose, do you think? Like, to give it a sharp peak and then end it, like, with bang? Or...
Well, if they did that, then they could have just done, like, an animated Clone Wars movie again that was only 2.5 hours long, and it wouldn't piss people off.
Yeah, I think that might have actually been a better move, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because, like, I've talked to other people, and even Drew at work, like, episode 5, they get imprisoned by the Pikes to get out, just get imprisoned again. Nothing to further the story, with the exception of Ahsoka didn't want to tell him I'm a Jedi. Further that episode, so that episode was at the very least superfluous in nature.
I don't want to like disagree, but like,
well, you can.
That's what the show's
for. You can still be wrong.
A little bit. Yeah, well, like, I think there's a little bit more than that. Like, I don't think these writers who get paid millions of dollars would just like, yeah, let's just make a story of nothing for 3 episodes. And there's more than that. There's more than what we're seeing or getting. And so what I was getting was like, I had this like sort of like rebel feel with Ahsoka and her those partners she's with, kind of like leading up to like where we're headed, and we're not even in that area yet in Clone Wars. Like, especially when like the move to throw out the fight had. And then like another thing was whenever those girls were kind of like, I don't want to say hating on Ahsoka, but like, damn her for being there and like causing all these problems.
You're talking about the Martez sisters?
Yeah. Rafa, right?
Rafa and
yeah. So yeah, they're just kind of like, why do you have like she's there and she's just causing all these problems, and they've dealt with it before, and they've gone through shit because of Jedi's. And I don't think it's revealed to them until afterwards, like that she is or she was in training to be one. But they're telling her about this Jedi that had saved them before, and they had they had this choice to make. They made a decision, and that decision ended up uh, leaving them without a home and just kind of just fighting for themselves, and trying that struggle to live, to keep on living. But what put them in that place was the Jedi, and it's like that's kind of why they hated that, but they had to at the same time. You kind of have to be grateful, like for what you have, for going on to live after she made that decision. And I think Ahsoka like kind of sees, the hard choices that the Jedi's do have to make, and not everything's going to be perfect, not everything's going to be good, and so she's probably going to take what she learned with them two girls back with her, uh, heading back to go see. I'm not. I mean, I haven't seen the episodes, or the latest episode, but
No,
uh,
I know what you're saying, Tim, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have any of that story in there, but they took the better part of 4 episodes to explain that story when they could have probably done it in one, maybe two, which means you could have saved those 2 episodes to have something more pertinent to the story, at least for what we know. And
mhm.
even then, a lot of the character development, what you're talking about, they also did already have that in place with her leaving the Jedi Council and stuff, or not the Council, but leaving the Jedi Order. Like it,
Okay, well,
they feel like
this could be for new fans just
the
coming in
filler
on the
episode.
season,
Well,
because
that's
I
not
haven't
how
seen.
that's not
Yeah,
usually
but
how it works, though. You
it's
can't
it.
go ahead.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's been how many years before they started a new season?
But that doesn't matter. It's one thing to have the movie episode 7 be somewhat of a reawakening to reinvigorate fans, but this is literally the following season. The following season, first season of a season of episodes has been out. It's gonna be directly connected.
I gotta say something, Tim. I don't disagree with you very often, but I'm going to on this point.
Oh, hell is getting
You you
cold.
you said um, people are not going to get paid millions of dollars
Yes.
to write 3 shows about nothing.
And they did.
Seinfeld did 11
Oh yeah,
seasons
that's
of a
so
show
true.
of
God dang it,
absolutely
that
nothing.
is so true. They-
I just wanted to.
because Seinfeld, man. Well, they did a good job of that, writing a
But
show about nothing.
but to back him up, that's the point of Seinfeld, though. That wasn't supposed to be the point
Yeah.
with Clone Wars,
Yeah,
and it turned out to be that way.
yeah, and that's what I talked about before is that, and I think, just to touch base on it, Filoni can, I guess, weave together really awesome stories, but within those story arcs, there's a lot of unnecessary, I guess, storytelling that he could just maybe the editing would department could help out with that. You know what I mean? Like Mike, I think what Micah said would probably have been the best avenue. They started Clone Wars with an animated movie, which was about 2 hours. Then you have the Clone Wars series. If they could have bookended it with another Clone Wars movie instead of the final season, I think that would have, how we always say, or former guest Mark said, putting a bow on these series or movies or whatever case you want to say. I think that would have bookended it very nicely. Micah, that was a really great idea, man.
Oh, thank you, Lewis. I feel like I need another shower because it feels icky, to be honest with you.
I mean,
Uh, yeah, no, I mean, it's just I mean, I know we kind of talked about in the previous episode, but it's just like these things are inherently designed to have those filler episodes. I mean, not to take the knife that you just stabbed into Tim's back and press further into it, but I mean, they do. They say, "Hey, I want 20 episodes. I want 24 episodes, and this is the story arc you need." But a lot of times, you need much more than that. So you're going to have kind of like offshoot episodes to fill the time that's not important to the narrative. They do that for a lot of different shows. Supernatural does that pretty well too. You know, you have 14 seasons of whatever. This is no different. If you took a regular season of Clone Wars, however many episodes is exactly is like 20 or something. There's only like maybe a quarter of them, maybe a third of them that are really integral as far as furthering along the narrative with these individuals. So having said that, I kind of feel like maybe that's what this season out to be. It's not to say that we didn't need to see the Bad Batch episodes and what happened as a result of that. That's not to say we didn't need Ahsoka meeting up with the Martez sisters and what happened as a result of that, because we did, but maybe not 4 episodes worth.
Yeah.
You know, because even Anakin said in the last episode, "Why'd you go to Obadiah or Opadia, whatever, however you pronounce it?" Like that could have been like, "Oh, well, because it's 1 episode, or because it's 2 episodes." I know it sounds silly to look at it after the fact, but it's just kind of like there's a lot of time where it just seemed like your character's here, they went here, and then they went back to here, and like there was no real development other than one simple truth was, I don't want to tell them that I'm a Jedi. And I know I'm nitpicking a bit at that episode, but that just kind of goes to show we know we were going to only get a finite amount of episodes for this season. Brought it back for the reason of let's figure out exactly what's happened. You know, we've heard it talked up for years now, and we're still getting bullshit episodes.
Until this one.
Until this one. This is it's I posted about it. I was like, I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Well, I kind of like I like the Bad Batch. I didn't think that was bullshit.
No. Like, the next one, like I liked it, but do you really feel like that furthered the narrative of Anakin and Obi-Wan and Rex and everything? Looking at these, even looking at the episode, this latest episode, that you have Rex and you have Commander Cody in there. It has nothing to do with it. It has no connections to it. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a cool episode. The cool episode is a Bad Batch. I mean, I like that more than the Ahsoka arc that they did, but it just seemed unnecessary. Now seeing this episode and what it's going to demand, like the following episodes to the finale, you need to see this as far as telling the story. But some offshoot side mission, like it seemed as if to me like they had the same storyline in place. We're going to do this in these episodes, and we need these extra episodes, even though it's not a full season. That's just my opinion from this fan.
Well, if they continue with the story the way that it's going from this point on, I can't wait to see the rest of the season. Say that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's okay. And the thing was, I heard that they're pushing the finale. It's not going to be on the next Friday. It's going to be on May the 4th, which is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I say that is there's 2 Fridays left in April.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean we're still going to get that Friday episode and then have that third one?
Yeah, probably.
So,
I mean, they did that with The Mandalorian, right?
No, I know. But
Yeah.
what I mean by saying that is that like, is it we're going to get that, or is it that they're going to skip the last Friday of April to push it back an extra couple of days to get to May? So I'm saying, do we have 2 episodes or do we have 3?
Oh, well, maybe we'll have 3 episodes still. Maybe they'll drop like they did with Rebels, where I think the season finale was 2 episodes, and they did them on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that. And it'll be an hour. We'll be watching it for maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I wouldn't mind that on May 4th. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I would really enjoy that. See where this all ends up. But yeah, if y'all haven't watched, well, I know Sarah and Tim haven't, but if y'all get a chance to watch it, I think y'all would really enjoy episode 9. that just came out this morning. Y'all should check it out.
Okay.
I would almost make the argument to Sarah, like, if she's gonna watch anything, don't worry about watching episodes 1 through 8. Just watch episode.
Just watch
9.
episode 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I'm
what
off for the next couple days, so maybe I'll watch the whole thing.
Because I hate to say it like that, but there's only like.
Where I am.
No, I'm just saying. I know you're crunched on time working at a hospital and everything. I'm just saying, like, I think that's like, I hate to say this because you should
9
watch
is
all of it
worth
as a
it,
Star Wars fan, but it's not a matter of 9 being worth it. 9 advances the story, 1 through 8 doesn't.
Okay.
It's like painting on the wall.
And speaking of being crunched on time, we only got Tim for about 10 more minutes.
Oh my
And
God.
then he's got to go. So I was gonna see if y'all wanted to continue with the next topic, or do y'all want to skip to? I got a little game prepared for us.
Oh, I like games.
I don't like
Wait,
games.
what's
Tim
the
doesn't
next
even-
topic?
The next topic would be the Obi-Wan series and the rumors flying around about it. I think that might take longer than 10 minutes. But I don't know if you want to start with that, Tim, and leave in the middle of it.
It would take longer than 10 minutes.
Huh?
What about the game? I said I think it would take longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah. So the
But
game
I did-
is so we got the novelization. I know of the
movie?
I just went blank. Yeah.
Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. I went blank there for a second. So the Rise of Skywalker movie, right? The novelization gave us some insights and some revelations. So I put together 13 of them.
You put together
And-
13 novels?
No. I put together 13 things that happened in the novelization that we didn't get in the movie. But y'all have to decipher whether it's true.
Spoiler alert, I'm still reading it. Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. I don't know if y'all want to play that or go along with Obi-Wan.
Just do the, I don't know, no damn game. Just give us the revelations.
No, that's fun.
We'll do it again.
All right, cool.
I can't
All right,
play a
let's start.
game with a faceless person because I can't cheat them, so Tim's exempt from this
Alright.
game.
Well,
Poker
Lewis
face.
is like the guy. Lewis is the guy who knows the answers, so read Lewis.
The guy?
The guy.
I'm the freaking
The wise
king. All right. In the opening crawl for episode 9, Palpatine has there's a message from Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's in the novelization. That should be in the movie.
Yes. So the full message is, at last the work of generations is complete. The great error is corrected. The day of victory is at hand. The day of revenge, the day of the Sith.
And I'm sorry, I was supposed to be saying true or false.
Yes.
I think it's true.
I think it's true.
You could
as
say
well.
true, and Lewis literally took out one word, be like, I'm sorry, that's not the right
Yeah,
answer.
I was, you know what? Yeah.
Instead of
I'm
and,
totally,
it should have been
I'm
the.
totally.
Fair. I think it's
Sarah saying, yes, it's true. Micah?
True.
hey.
What do you want?
What was that?
I told you I'm not playing your bullshit game. Just give them the answers.
Come on.
Yes, it's true, Lewis. Please.
It is true. Very good.
Hey.
All right. The second revelation, Leia's Jedi training. During her training, later on in the novelization, she remembers an incident where she managed to hover in mid-air.
Leia?
Mm-hmm.
She
True or
was in
false?
she was in training or she was meditating?
She was remembering a time, an incident where she managed to hover in midair.
God damn it. I'm going to say true just because the fucking episode 8.
Yeah.
Tim?
False. False.
It is true.
Hey, 2 points.
So she can get her Mary Poppins on.
What? Superman all the way back to the spaceship.
All right. So, Kylo Ren on Mustafar. He's seeking out his grandfather's Sith Wayfinder, and he slaughters a bunch of cultists there. Ren meets a creature called the Eye of Webbish Bog. True or
Sarah?
false? Sarah?
False.
Okay.
Tim?
False.
True.
Micah got it right.
Oh,
It
because you
is
already read
true.
it. Oh, lame-o.
I got to that part.
It's a spider-like alien attached to a parasitic bond with a giant humanoid.
Spider.
The Eye of the Webbish Bog.
I remember it to be like a worm-like creature, not a spider.
I don't know. That's what it said. All right.
That's the wrong answer, bro.
Actually, it says some versions of the Eye of the Webbish Bog scene were actually filmed. They just never made it into the movie.
That would have been cool.
Wow.
Because the way they describe it, I'm like, Jesus Christ! It really reminded me of Bane when he goes in the second book, like those creatures fall from the ceiling when he finds a Hulkron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's the same. It just reminded me of that, like parasitic worm that helped to make him stronger, but also was killing him.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 4. Palpatine is inhibiting a clone body. Upon first meeting Kylo Ren, Palpatine describes his previously
It's
used...
Palpatine!
Palpatine! Palpatine describes his current body as an imperfect one, forcing him to strap himself to a mechanical exoskeleton.
True.
Sarah, change it up. You said true.
I don't know. I think it's true because that makes sense.
I don't know if he'd call himself imperfect.
So what's your answer?
False.
The answer is true.
It's true.
Hey!
All right. All right. Let's see. Rey's new gold and white lightsaber that we see at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Rey has begun work on a new lightsaber other than that one. She hopes will better replicate the feel of her trusty staff. It's a double-bladed design that can fold in half.
False.
Sarah?
Yeah, false.
It's true!
Really?
It is true!
I hate this
dun,
game.
dun, dun.
God. So that's where they got the weird dream. Or not, what was it? Y'all remember that meme that was going around where she's like Sith Rey and she like undoes that lightsaber and it's like a Swiss Army knife
yeah.
thing? That's what I got in my mind right now.
I wonder if they had that. If they did choose to do it because of that.
That's what I'm thinking, maybe.
Because I wonder if hopefully we ever get to see like a new trilogy with her. I imagine they eventually have to do it after some time, of course. That if her new design, that is that golden like half staff, that is breakable down into a full one. Well, it's a full staff breakable down into a half staff, and she can use it like that.
All right. The character Jaina, the one that was like, where are the other stormtroopers?
There's others.
Oh yeah.
the
Okay.
horses, right. You got that, Tim?
Lando's love child.
Well, actually,
Oh, that's your question.
That it was confirmed in the novelization. She's the daughter of Saw Gerrera.
Oh.
So it does make Lando to be a creepy perv at the end of the movie. I don't know, it's abandoned.
Is
Let's
it
find out who
true?
you belong to, child.
Micah.
False.
Micah, is it true or false?
Oh, we're still playing this game.
Yes.
God damn it. I'm gonna say false. Because it just I mean, everything Lewis has been saying has been true. It'd be weird that she saw Guerrera and the implications they're trying to make in the movie.
Sarah.
It's
I'm
false.
gonna say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say true.
Sarah, you said false or true?
I think I said false.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is false. She
Yay!
is the daughter of
Okay.
Orlando Calrissian.
That's fine.
Wait, what? She's his daughter?
Of Lando Calrissian.
Okay.
Then that's just gross.
No, it's not. It makes it
He
better
was so
because
flirtatious at the end of the movie, though.
no. It can be perceived that way, but that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be worse if it wasn't.
I think
Because
it's-
if not,
yeah,
then it would
it's
have like he was
perceived.
creeping on some girl reporter.
Maybe.
I had a
Alright.
feeling he knows who she was.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready for the next
Hey,
one?
maybe that'll be like a spin-off movie. Okay, yes, go.
All right.
White-
In the novelization, said Chewie never really cared for Ben Solo and actually hated Kylo Ren for killing Han.
Oh.
False.
I don't even want to hear the answer to this one because it's just gonna piss me off if I'm wrong. Because I remember talking to David like when we first saw Episode 7. We coming out of the theaters like just imagine Chewie is like loving on this little kid when he's like super young, throwing him on his shoulders and everything.
Yeah.
I can't have that vision undone for me if I'm wrong. So I'm gonna say it's false. There's no way Chewie hated Ben Solo. It was his best buddy's child. There's no way that could happen.
But maybe he like resented him because he took away all Han's attention.
Hold on.
He became.
That-
He
I
became
think-
jealous.
He turned into Anakin. He turned into Anakin.
I don't think so.
Sarah,
I want it to be false too, but it might be true.
what are you going with?
I'm gonna say false.
Say false?
Yeah.
It is false.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. So it didn't get ruined for Micah.
Yay, Micah.
All right. So
My little piece of happiness has not been tarnished. What a mistake.
yeah. Actually, Kylo Ren attempts to pull information from Chewie's mind when he gets captured. In the process, Ben stumbles across memories of Chewie's days bonding with the young Ben Solo. Later in the book, Lando finds Chewie's cabin in the Falcon and stumbles across hollow recordings of them when they were young.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So number 9, Finn was trying to reveal that he's force sensitive.
Sarah?
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, it's true.
It is true. Excellent. All right. We're gonna do this last one.
Easy.
You just
Right.
said 10. There's like 2 more, isn't it? 3 more. You
Well,
said
no,
13 revelations.
I said 13, but Tim's running low on time.
Tim will stick around for this.
Actually,
I go.
Micah and Sarah are tied right now.
Bullshit.
right.
No. I got 1 extra on Sarah. Sarah was wrong
No,
on
you
2.
don't.
Sarah was
It's all
wrong on
set.
2. I was wrong on 1.
Mm.
You
I-
are wrong.
I got y'all. I got y'all tied right now.
Yeah, you're-
He's the honorable scorekeeper,
That's right.
and I'm an honorable judge, so I
there
would
is
not
no
lie to you.
honor. There is no honor amongst us 4. Don't give me that.
There might be some, a little bit.
A
All
little
right.
bit, but
There's a
not
lot.
with that one.
Here we
with
go.
a D on his forehead.
Rey's father isn't actually Palpatine's son, but Palpatine's clone. So
Oh shit!
that
sorry.
clone was never meant to be more than it was meant to be more of a permanent replacement body for Palpatine. Unfortunately, Rey's father proved to have no force abilities whatsoever. Palpatine rejected this clone and tasked a Sith assassin with killing him.
False.
That's a whole different. I don't know. That story sounds funny. Shit, but it sounds crazy enough. True.
It is false.
Hey.
It is true.
Oh, what the heck? Wow.
I gave Tim 2 points on that one.
Yeah.
So everybody's tied right now.
Sarah, does he still sound honorable to you? You changed up the
That
goddamn.
one sounded so crazy. It had to be
That's a
true.
nice thing, but what the fuck?
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give y'all one last one for a tiebreaker.
Hurry up! I gotta
All
go.
right.
The Sith Rule of Two was instituted in an attempt to create a force dyad between master and apprentice. It was never more than a failed copy, as a true force dyad requires a degree of openness and empathy Sith Lords simply can't handle.
True. That's true.
Sarah?
I don't know.
It makes sense to me.
Okay, true.
That is the biggest line of bullshit. That is so false.
It is
sounds like
true.
No.
It sounds like
Oh.
yes, it sounds like a George Lucas type of thing.
Yeah,
Wherever did it say that they designed it to be a force dyad?
Well,
George Lucas.
This shit has
that's
not
the
even.
novelization, partner.
Just because it's written in a book
It's-
after the fact doesn't mean it make it true. There
All
are
right.
even been problems that there's been glaring inconsistencies even with canon from this book. They have never once mentioned dyad before until this movie.
Eh, eh.
And I actually think if Lewis is just trying to pull my chain, buddy, you're still full of shit.
No, that's true.
I don't believe you.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
finish the book.
yeah. Just
Okay,
finish the book.
gotta go.
Hey, Sarah, why don't you
Alright.
even watch 8 episodes?
Oh,
Bye,
wait! Oh my God,
Bye.
somebody's grumpy. Bye,
Later.
Tim.
Bye, Timmy.
Tim woke the mic up too early.
Well, if he decided to request a day off for this thing.
Oh, I know. Bada boom, bada boom.
Ouch.
Very ouch, man.
Yes, I'm all about that scorched earth policy. No one stands a chance.
All right. Hey, guys, y'all want to keep going? Because we're only, what, like 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
32 minutes and 17 seconds. 8
Sweet.
seconds. 19 seconds. 20
So-
seconds.
Yes, your point is made.
I was digging up some stuff. I want to get y'all's thoughts on it about the
Literally?
Obi-Wan Kenobi series slated to come out on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Lucasfilm hired another writer to take over finishing scripts for the Kenobi series after the last writer was fired. This happened in January of this year, 2020. That the new writer has only two writing credits to his name, which was a film called Awake from 2017 that starred Hayden Christensen, and King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. So if the rumor is true, is it a bit of a
Wait. 2017 is King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the one that Guy Ritchie did?
You know what? That could be. He may have written it.
The one with Charlie Hunnam.
Or
Right?
Jax? Or
Mhm.
Jax?
His name is Charlie Hunnam, sir.
No, his name is Jax. I bet you that's the same thing.
I think so.
It has to be.
So right now, this is a rumor, right? So if it's true, is it a bit of a head scratcher considering how important the Kenobi series is to Lucasfilm and the fans, with only 2 screen credits to this writer's name?
Mm.
Sarah, what are your
I mean-
thoughts? Or Micah, either one. Y'all are both like,
I haven't seen either of those movies,
me either.
I have seen
but
both of them.
What were
did
your
you like
thoughts?
them? Were they well written?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to answer that question, Sarah. Some things can be so well written, but then directed so poorly.
This is
I know
true.
that sounds like
No,
an
you're right.
evasion.
No, you're right.
Because I like Guy Ritchie stuff, for 2017. So it's like, how much is his, how much is the writing? But I mean, the stories for the most part of those 2 movies, I think were good.
Would you recommend people to watch it? Them.
I'll probably get shit for people to recommend a King Arthur movie because Apparently, it fell through with a lot of people. I mean, I think the stories in themselves were pretty good. I mean, the whole premise with Awake is that I forget what it was, but he has to have some kind of operation, but he's awake during the entire surgery. That they're cutting into him and shit.
Interesting.
Oh,
And
jeez.
then he starts to realize that because he's like stupid rich.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Who?
No, it's Hayden Christensen.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, it's Anakin, fool. You don't remember who he is? Yeah, no, but they cut into him, and then he starts to hear that all these people who thought he was his friends, like, were like essentially trying to kill him. I think during the surgery, but the fact was is because the anesthesia didn't go all the way through. It essentially just paralyzed him, but he was awake and he could feel everything, kind of stuff. So having said that kind of dynamic, and maybe a bit of the story arc that Charlie Hunnam's character King Arthur goes through in the movie. I mean, I guess I could see some of it. Why they would do that for Obi-Wan Kenobi, because what we're supposed to be getting from that story is supposed to be really like his emotional state, like trying not to be like he's a hermit, but like maybe trying to stay sane while also talking to Qui-Gon and the Living Force, but also trying to watch over Luke from afar, even though he can't be connected to his best friend / apprentice, even though he murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe trying to stay away from Maul. Like, there's a lot of good stuff there. So maybe he was brought in for that. Something that can really pull at your heartstrings. And also too, I'd like to think that Star Wars has done pretty well, pulling from some unknown people, at least maybe in the beginning, or at the actors, if you will.
Yeah.
To find that talent is what I mean. Is finding that talent and saying, "Hey, go wild."
Well, speaking of that, well, thank you for your input on that, Micah. You gave me some insight on that. I hadn't seen either one of those movies. Sarah said she hadn't either. So you make some great points there. Speaking of people that they find, another official rumor, and it's been a rumor now for a while, Ahsoka Tano will be the first major character to jump from animated series to live action Star Wars. If this rumor stands true, what other characters would you like to see appear in live action? That includes video games, comic books, animated characters, etc., etc. Do y'all have any thoughts on that?
We kind of touched, or maybe I just thought about this last time and maybe I didn't voice it, but like, that's like, I can't remember what they're called, but the females of Darth Maul's race, they're like witches.
Oh, the Night Sisters.
That would be really cool. It'd be cool if they did something like that. Like if they do like a sequel on Solo, but into like Darth Maul, that kind of stuff. That would be really cool.
That would be creepy if they
Yeah,
showed
it would
an
be
actual
really cool
live action version of that.
Mm-hmm.
What would be yours, Micah? Do you?
I don't. Hold on.
I put you on the spot there. I know.
I don't. As far as animated, I don't know animated. I mean,
are you cool? Let me ask it to you.
Fine.
In a different.
Animated. Darth Revan. Animated. What are you talking about, Micah? He's animated in the video games, bitch.
Yeah, they could do that on what is that? Forces of Destiny.
I will
look at his face.
I will murder you, dude. God damn it. No, because you said
I should have
animated
taken
live
a
action.
shot of that face. That would have been.
Oh man. So hey, Diego Luna recently was on Instagram for his very first live ever on Instagram. I was able to listen to part of that, but prior to that, he said that for certain that the Disney Plus series Cassian Andor will film this year, and he said that.
Oh, did he cut out?
Lewis, you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said for certain we will film this year.
Yes. He
Darkness.
said, yes, absolutely. Then Diego Luna also said, yes, we're doing it. We're doing it this year. It's happening, and I'm getting ready for it. With all this COVID stuff, you think this is going to get pushed back a little bit more?
Probably.
Probably.
That sucks.
I mean, I'm still excited for that, and something tells me
Yeah.
this is a project. The new face of, how do I say this politically correct? This to me, it just feels like something they wouldn't want to abandon and want to ensure goes forward. But I mean, I'm super excited. You know, I love Diego Luna, and I feel like some of his work in Narcos Mexico will probably help him for that more of like a do what's necessary type of attitude with Cassian Andor, especially. We're going to be seeing his earlier life, and he's had to probably make some pretty raunchy decisions to survive and help the rebellion and such. So
Interesting.
Well, have y'all seen Narcos Mexico?
I have
No.
not.
Oh, damn.
Is that the third season?
It's a spin-off, isn't it?
Technically speaking, it's episode 4 and 5, but as soon as season 4, sorry, I said episode. Technically, it's seasons 4 and 5. Season 4 became like they stopped the regular Narcos, I guess, and they branded it Narcos Mexico. So they have the second season of Narcos Mexico out, which is technically season 5 of the overall franchise of Narcos. He plays I don't want to call him a kingpin, but one of the drug cartel leaders, Felix Gallardo from Guadalajara. And I don't know, it just kind of like I saw some of that character in his Cassian Andor character a bit.
And so I have another question for you guys. I think we touched on this just a little bit last time, but it kind of spurred us into the High Republic. So I want to get y'all's feelings with this. It truly feels like the Skywalker saga is over or coming to a close with, the Clone Wars, getting creeping closer and closer to its final finale. Does this make you feel more sad about stories that are going to go unfulfilled in the Skywalker saga, or are you more excited about the future of Star Wars?
I'm going to be lame and say both.
Talk to us about that.
So, I mean, I don't think it's done completely. And I mean, I don't want it to be done completely. Maybe they'll go back and touch on, like a solo sequel or Obi-Wan or whatever later. But I'm excited for, the next season of The Mandalorian and Cassian Andor whenever it comes out. I'm both. I'm lame.
Micah?
I think Sarah said it right. I'm actually kind of scared almost, but I also don't think it's over. Especially when Rey's a Palpatine, but she goes by Skywalker. No, it can't really be over. I don't think. Like I said, I think they're just gonna give it some time. But the reason I would be partly scared is because, again, kind of like what we mentioned in the last episode, I don't know really what they're going to have moving forward. And if they start sniping away from material that isn't deemed canon to make it canon in a new sense, it just... I mean, if you have to take from an old idea and rebrand it as new, it's just kind of like, have you lost the originality? Have you lost what you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the biggest things, that made Star Wars so great was because it was this most original thing that we hadn't seen. I mean, hell, you even see the comparisons that Harry Potter is a ripoff of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And in things like that, it's kind of like this is truly brand new, unique, and original from George Lucas, and you have all these great offshoot things. And now it's like, it's like the attitude of Kathleen Kennedy. You know, we're having a really tough time because we have no source material. It's like, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
And so, if that's the attitude and idea that they've adopted moving forward, what does that have to say with the originality and creativity going forward?
Yeah.
So, Skywalker lineage story, I don't think it's going to be completely over. It's just on pause. But as far as original material coming forward that's not based off of Skywalker in some manner of the word, I don't know. I'm I'm hopeful. I'm a fan. I'm gonna see what they do. I'm gonna watch, and I'll be there to give it praise and to give it maybe some fan criticism. I hope the best, but that High Republic stuff kind of
Is it
it
for
was
the
me.
birds?
It was me speeding in a race car and I'm coming to an intersection and just turned yellow. It's like, what am I doing here? Yeah. Sorry, you
Speaking of,
caught me in a fucking red, Jules. So,
I'm hoping they go back and touch a little bit on the Skywalker era, um, as well. I kind of feel like cheated in a way because there's so much richness to that era.
yeah.
And we don't really know either. Speaking of the sequels, uh, they never touched on who Rey's mother was, did they?
Mm-mm.
You just see a lady.
I don't. As bad as it sounds, I don't think that was the point.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I entirely believe it, but you said that Rey's father essentially was a Palpatine clone, but I
Mhm.
thought I remember seeing and reading something to the effect of, not in the book, but
Mhm.
something to the effect of, no, he did have a relationship. But the son, her father, just didn't want to have anything to do with it. And
Yeah.
obviously he wouldn't allow that. But I mean, obviously, according to you, that's
Yeah,
false.
I took this information from a reliable source for that little game we had there.
I
So
think I think we need to question what you call and deem reliable. But
There's
even
a kid next door, okay? Leave me alone.
He has really great ideas.
I get to talk to the kids next door is my next concern. Secondly, but I think the whole point of all that stuff was is that it really didn't matter
Mhm.
because it wasn't who her parents was, it was who her grandparents were.
Yeah,
And in this case was Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Oh,
Pimper,
no.
Pimper Palpatine's
There we go.
time corner.
Ew.
Well, guys,
Sorry. That's Anakin. He's a little upset.
he's mad.
He's a little angsty.
That's all I got for us today. Unless you guys want to add some more stuff or want to talk about or expound on some of the stuff we talked about.
I do. Oh
Oh.
no, go ahead.
I just wanted to add that Joby Harold, he was executive producer for John Wick 3. So maybe that's some hope there because John Wick is a really good series. Specifically, John Wick, I think it was 3, pulled me into watching the other ones.
What?
Yeah, dude, I hadn't seen him until I'd watched John Wick 3.
You're such
Hey.
an absent fan.
We saw John Wick 3 in the theater, right? And
She's confirmed.
okay, yeah. Yeah, so
I
John
was
Wick 3
only
made me
asleep
watch
for,
the rest
for
of them.
half of it, right?
It was a really long day, okay, you guys. I just got out of school. No, but I mean, I that kind of gives me a little bit of hope for him.
No.
Eh,
And I did just want to, yeah. I don't. We didn't really delve too much into the latest episode. We just kind of talked about the things
Yeah,
surrounding it.
if you want to talk about it more, I would love to.
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Oh, I just kind of love because a lot of the things that you would hear about, like you hadn't seen yet, it's coming to fruition. Because there's this like montage video of seeing Ahsoka's relationship with Anakin turned Vader, and one of the things that always sticks out to me. The last time I saw Anakin, he was running off to go protect the Chancellor.
Yeah.
Right. And then you kind of see this one in this episode, Sarah. I'm not trying to ruin it for you, but here it comes.
How dare you?
It's very connected.
Spoiler.
It's very connected to
It's very
Revenge of the Sith.
connected. It's very connected, and that's why I love it. Like, we knew it was going to happen, kind of, but I never thought we were going to actually get to see the visual representation for it. And so, the stuff that was going on with the Martell sisters, blah, 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 blah. She does, one of the offshoots is that she does meet up with, what is the Death Watch, right, Louis?
Yeah. And that's what the last, 15 seconds?
Yeah, right.
Literally. Yeah.
Is the Death Watch Mandalorians, because the siege is about to happen in the Mandalore. And so anyway, she is, I guess Ahsoka is trying to help them out. And so because Darth Maul is essentially, now he has the Mandalorians. Like, he's essentially turned, and he's now like the official type ruler of Mandalore. Lois, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You got it.
And so Ahsoka seeks out the help because the person who's leading the Death Watch is Bo-Katan. Her sister was Satine, which was like Obi-Wan's like love interest. And so they go to seek counsel / help. Ahsoka and Bo-Katan go to seek counsel and help from Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like, Lando, get back, bud. It was just kind of weird because, like, at the same moment, like, they're trying to figure out, do we even want to help? Because Ahsoka's not part of the Jedi Order anymore, and then if just simply by them helping out would violate treaties between the Republic and Mandalore themselves that have been written over 100 years. They explain that in the episode, and right as that's about to happen, that this thing happens where Coruscant's being attacked, and I don't think they ever specifically stated in the episode, Lewis, but they kind of get to the idea that we have to go protect the Chancellor, we have to go protect Palpatine. And so what's about to happen because that's the beginning of episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
But it's just like they have to make this choice. But you have this nice heartfelt between Anakin and Ahsoka, and like literally the last thing she sees of him is running off to go protect the Chancellor.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like goosebumps because it's like, oh god,
like, oh, there it is.
But
what I really liked about that interaction too, sorry to cut you off there, Micah, was
sorry.
It's probably about to say it.
the interaction between Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. It was their relationship seemed kind of strained there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, because
like,
Obi-Wan is so about the rules, and she's not. Yeah.
And she's with Anakin. She's used to learning from Anakin, and so like Obi-Wan and Ahsoka Tano are having this discussion. And Anakin's to the side of him, kind of like, oh god, that's my master. Oh god, that's my Padawan. And they kind of both kind of like eyeball him out of the corner of their eye, like, say something. I just said something. Say something.
Back me up, man.
Yeah, both of them are. And so it's like, oh, he's in a really awkward position, which he's been in his entire life.
Yeah.
Had to make these crazy decisions ever since childhood, which makes him Anakin / Vader one of my favorite characters of all time for any genre in any book, movie, or feature film, because of the choices that he's had to make. Some of them are heartfelt, and some of them are very, just self-oriented. So, which makes him very human.
No, definitely. And because even then at the very, like, Obi-Wan takes off, and Ahsoka's like, thanks for supporting me like you always have. It's just kind of like, and I know I've said it before, it's probably been a while, but I mean, Anakin, at least in the realm of Star Wars, is my favorite character because of a lot of it, because of the story arc, a lot of it because I say the failings that the people weren't looking out for him, kind of thing. But also too, like, Ahsoka was his anchor, and as soon as he lost her, if Ahsoka was still with him as his Padawan, I don't think the events would have turned out the way they did. And obviously we know that they had to turn out that way. for everything to happen, but Ahsoka was like his last anchor into some semblance of being grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know,
I
and
just grabbed my laptop like, no!
but and a big thing of it too was because, you know, well, Ahsoka was a commander or a general. Hey, get back down. You know, general with Anakin of the 501st, and so Anakin's trying to figure out, like, he has to make a decision. Does he help Ahsoka? Does he, you know, follow his master type thing? And he makes a decision to split the 501st in half. He promotes Captain Rex to commander, and he brings on Ahsoka as like a advisor or something like that.
An advisor. Yeah.
So she can go but Rex goes into full capacity. But then it was super awesome because he's like, "Hey, I have a surprise for you." Walks him into the hangar, and Rex with, you know, his squad, they all painted their mask like orange and white to resemble Ahsoka's face. And it was just really kind of cool saying that, like, these are my boys, you know, like. So no, it was just really great. Like,
Anakin
so many
gives her that surprise, and he has a second surprise, and I would rather let Sarah view that on her own.
Sure.
Thanks.
Because it's really heartfelt.
Watch it today. Watch it today.
I will watch it today. Like, after, I'm gonna kick Bobby off the Xbox, and I will watch it when we're done here.
Okay, we'll let him back on the Xbox in a couple hours, so I can play it.
You're not even gonna get on until like 9:00. Don't even.
I'm off it, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah. You know, Sarah, to piggyback off of what Micah said, it's like, I've seen the Clone Wars series, maybe this is my 4th time. The entire season. All the way through.
God damn.
That's
Okay.
Sarah. Take a look at your screen. That's what a fan looks like.
Shut up.
Even if he has a giant D on his forehead. Dallas fan.
But
Yes,
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I'm telling you, this episode that just released today is one of the best ones of the entire series.
Yeah.
Because of the way that it connects you to the theatrical releases, in my opinion.
Okay.
So if you get to watch it today, I can't wait for you to see it. And
I'll text y'all when I'm done with it.
yeah, and so you can see that second surprise that Anakin gives Ahsoka. I was like, oh.
Am I gonna cry?
I don't know. I didn't cry.
Yeah, but I'm
very
emotional.
To me, it was very heartfelt.
Yeah.
And later on in life, when Anakin turns to Vader and Ahsoka's older, it means so much more when they encounter each other later on in life.
Okay.
But
all right.
And just to say, Anakin is a bad motherfucker. Sorry.
Mine or actual Anakin?
My Anakin.
Oh, okay.
The only one that matters.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I don't. Well, when you see him first on the episode, I don't want to at least give that away because it's not integral. But it's just like, this is ballsy mother. I like this guy.
You, I like you.
So guys, it feels like we're about to wrap it up. Who wants to do the closing?
Sarah.
I can close.
All right.
We'll find out.
Okay, this has been episode 66 of the Force Choke podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Tinder, and
Tim's
Reddit.
not here.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we do.
It's still there, and we do sticker swaps. If you watch our podcast and see this, we will swap stickers with you.
Fellow
sticker for sticker. Quid pro quo, fellow podcasters.
There was no quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
I wanted to make sure you caught that.
Quid pro quo. Yeah. Do you want to introduce ourselves again? Or no?
This is Lando.
That's Lando licking some ears. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lewis.
Yeah,
And
I'm that other one.
Tim had to go.
Oh, Tim had to go. He's here sometimes too.
Not in the flesh, so to speak.
Mm,
We talked to his
ghost.
his ghost, I guess.
I don't know.
Spirit.
Oh, his AI self.
Yes.
We're not there yet, Sarah.
He's a host from Westworld. Anyway, this is it.
Episode 66.
Episode 66.
Boom.
Goodbye and thank you.